welcome each of you here for this ribbon cutting of Jones Creek Bridge and Trail dedication. We're so thankful that you come out in this great weather to be here today. But on behalf of the City of Texarkana, Arkansas, the Texarkana, Arkansas Board of Directors, welcome. Tell you a little bit about the project here. It's the ideal situation where not just one entity itself are responsible, but there was 3 entities that was involved. All of them were the state highway, the Wapatiti, or a private group that has really had an impact on Texarkana. We'll talk about. But I'd like to just share with you what we're dedicating today. Is the project, the information is the installation of a prefab 75-foot steel bridge, and you can look right over here and you see this bridge. Construction of a 10-foot by 750-foot asphalt trail. There was 3 entities involved in it. The Arkansas Highway Department, through their recreational trails program, awarded $41,000 on May the 2nd, 2013. Swapatiti, through our state representative Hickerson and Renee Dacus, they provided a general improvement funds of $17,928, which was awarded December 16, 2013. And finally, the Harrisons, who have been instrumental in pathways and the trails and runs and everything else that's for Texarkana, they have a group called Partnership for the Pathway. They provided $16,500. July the 11th, 2012, it was $15,500. And June 19, 2013, they provided the final $1,500. With 3 organizations coming together and participating, this was able to happen. It probably would not have happened had all 3 organizations not been willing to share in this. So, welcome. I know we're going to got some other speakers. Like the politician, I won't speak too long. But it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you a representative from the Chamber of Commerce. He's now the Director of Business Retention and Expansion. Charles Nickerson has a lot of hats here in Texarkana, including City Manager, and I'm not sure what other hats he's had in the Chamber, but it's a pleasure to introduce Charles Nickerson.
Thanks, Mayor. First of all, I just want to point out that this is not chamber weather. This is definitely city weather or somebody else's weather. It's not ours. So we're not going to take any credit for that. But on behalf of the chamber and our business partnership, we want to congratulate the city. What a great, great effort. I mean, this trail system is growing every single year, and it gets better and better and better. And one of the things that I know when I was here with the city and the city manager, Hicks Creek Trail was out in front of most of the rest of the Texarkana USA. We were leading the way as a city and had been for a number of years. But there was a group that was constantly had a vision of what a unified trail system could mean for this community, how much difference it could make for not just Texarkana, Arkansas, but Texarkana USA, and how it could be an important link and cog in everything we do. And that's Julie Ray and John Harrison and Steiner Brown, the folks from the partnership. And gosh, what a wonderful legacy they are leaving this community. It's going to be so much better. We're integrated. We have access to downtown. We have access to other parts of the community, and so on and so forth. One of the things that I wanted to do and I'll shut up here very quickly, but I wanted to also say a word of thanks to the City of Texarkana, Arkansas staff. You know, I know firsthand what a great job they do. It's unbelievable to me how much they accomplish with so little money. Every single year it seems like there's less money to work with, less resources, and yet as citizens we want more and more services. So the demand goes up, the resources go down. Somehow they always deliver, and I think this is a great example of finding the partnerships, the ability to pull people together, create coalitions, and make things happen in this community. So just on my behalf, and I think I speak for everyone here that's not a city staff member, we appreciate you. And then finally, the last thing I'd like to say is I hope that sometime in the future we can look at these pathways as more than just a recreational feature. What a great recreational feature they are, but there's so much more than that. They can be an economic driver. They can be something that I've been fortunate enough to live in cities where apartment units, subdivisions, they advertise those as being close to a particular trailer. Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, they are, just pop the bicycle, come right on off and fill up a little chicken and then go about another 20 miles and you're taken care of. But anyway, again, what a great day. Mayor, really congratulate you and Paul and Ross and the whole city staff. What a wonderful job this has been, and we appreciate it.
You introduce Ross.
Oh, okay. I'll be glad to. Ross Cowling, I don't know how many of you know Ross very well, but what a difference he's made in this community. I mean, every time I look around, there's something that has his stamp on it. He's just done an incredible job as Parks and Recreation Director. And Paul, Paul and Ross and the Public Works Department have done incredible things, but as I said, with very little money. So, Ross.
Thank you, Charles. From a design end, I want to thank Paul and everybody that's helped with that. We've also had COBs assisted in some of this and some of our trail system as well. Thank you again to the Partnership for the Pathways, John and Julie Ray, and everything y'all have created. That's been phenomenal. Thank you for all that y'all do for us, in the chamber as well. Thank you very much. And we're excited to have this. We have destinations. There's a point to these trails, and we're creating destinations. We hope to connect the 2.4 miles that we have now to the rest of this trail. And so we're going to hopefully make a destination at the Boys and Girls Club, and then furthermore go to Hobo Jungle. And you can physically go from Arkansas Boulevard all the way to Hobo Jungle and beyond. So we're really excited. It's helping our grant opportunities. We've got grants right now with the Highway Department, also with Parks and Tourism, with our 50-50 matching grant, that we're using these trails as incentives to, hey, give us more money, and we're going to continue to use your money well and make it great for our city. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, and thank y'all for your support. At this point, the Highway Department I mentioned, Mr. Steve Frisbee is here. He's a district engineer. This time I'd like to turn it over to him.
Thank you. I just want to mention, I guess starting off, I don't want to take the credit for the Arkansas Highway Department as far as the $41,000. We do administer the project as far as the funding, but this is federal highway dollars, so we're in charge of administering those dollars, but this is your federal tax dollars at work coming back to your city. And so the Arkansas Recreational Trails Program through the Arkansas Highway Department was established in 1993 through some federal funding and federal legislation, and over the years we've issued different projects like this out throughout the state, and I've got a few numbers here. The Arkansas Recreational Trails, since 1993 we have completed 258 trails in 70 counties at a cost of $10.4 million. Over 650 miles and 160 acres of trails of all varieties have been constructed, including motorized trails with bicycle access, bicycle trails, hiking, walking trails, multi-use trails. And so it's a great program through federal funding that we have. In Texarkana specifically, so far the city has completed 6 trail projects through our program, totaling $350,000. So this is not just this project, but we've got a series. I'm not sure what was the first project. I was the resident engineer here during one of the first projects, and I know we've had several over the years. I know 4 projects involve Nicks Creek Trails, then we have the Ernest Hill Pavilion Trail, and now the Preston Street Trail. So just want to mention that, and we enjoy being able to take some of these federal dollars, especially my area, my district. I like to see those dollars coming back home and the cities applying and getting these grants, because there's a lot of cities out there that just don't apply for things like this, and it's good that the city staff is here that becomes aware and takes the effort to go out and get these grants, just like the city streets projects and other things that we do. There are many cities out there that don't take the effort to get the money back like this, and I know it makes a big difference for the city. So I appreciate being here and the invitation. And who we have next here?
Well, we'll save. I want to interject. Renee, your Prissy one has to come up and represent Swapatiti, so just, you can do it as a dual. Yeah, I know you told us to work on speed.
We had a little asterisk by our name, so we didn't come prepared. Well, I want to thank all of the different organizations that provided funding for this. I'd like to thank Tracy Lee. I know with the general improvement funds, and general improvement funds are surplus funds that the state of Arkansas, after the budget's done and everything's lined out, if there are funds left over, they are turned back to the taxpayers of the state of Arkansas through Southwest Arkansas Planning and Development District, or through the development districts, such as Southwest Arkansas Planning and Development districts. And there's a panel, there's a board that makes decisions on who gets those grants. But Senator Hickey and I have some input and some say into what we think is best for our community, and we both were very pleased and happy when this is one of the grants that was applied for. And I want to thank Tracy because and Ross and Paul, because when we call and let them know there are going to be some funds available and how could they distribute them in the community in a fair and equitable manner, they always have plenty of projects for us. So that money's not available every year. Last year it was a little bit the year before, and I appreciate the time and effort that they put in to make the most of these funds. The highway department always is a great source for grants, and these are federal funds, and there are people that complain about that ought to go to pavement and road construction. And as a former highway commissioner, I'll have to say that I kind of thought that too. We have so many needs in our state, but these federal dollars that come back and flow through the highway department, and the highway commission makes the decisions on who gets the grants, those dollars improve the quality of life in communities. And that's as big a part of transportation as anything. So anyway, we appreciate the highway department for this. Thank you all. I want to know where this goes. Julie Ray, John.
Oh, we're gonna let them come up.
Are you gonna come talk about it?
Yeah.
And I mean, if I get on him, I could be wandering and end up
We'll find you in a couple days.
somewhere. Yes. Renee, do you want to say something?
Just one thing, I do want to thank the legislature for entrusting the planning districts with the money and the city for a really, really good project to make my job really easy. It's really easy to fund something that's a good project. In my hometown, I'm from College Hill area, so this is my backyard, and the train's very familiar to me. We were talking about that, so it sounds like home. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank you for a really good project. We appreciate it.
And I live in the College Hill area too, and we both got lost. I just live right down there. Thank you, Mayor.
Before we have the chamber, would like to introduce, and I will say this here, I met Julie and John when I first became mayor, and one of the first topics was the pathways. So they have really been instrumental throughout Texarkana in the improvement of the pathways here. So it's my privilege and honor to introduce the final leg of those responsible for this today. It's Julie and John Harrison.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is really a privilege to see this completed. For a long time, I'm gonna thank and sort of blame Paul Hackelman for this. We had a trail down here, and it was sort of a trail to a creek, and it stopped, and there was a trail on the other side. And that's either the greatest piece of strategy that I've ever seen trying to apply for a grant, because you're almost certain to get it. And if you appeal to Prissy on that basis and saying you've got trail on both sides but no bridge, it's been that way for a while. What a great piece of strategy, Paul. I'd have to say that was really a stroke of genius. But I think, Julie Ray, I'll let you answer the question about where this trail goes and where it can go. But it is really a treat for us to see this. I can't thank Tracy Lee enough for what she's done for this community. Ross Cowling, all those same thoughts that have already been mentioned. Jimmy Hickey's not here today, right? And Jimmy.
He had to be in Little Rock.
Okay, well,
should've
I
mentioned
certainly
that.
want to thank Jimmy for what he's done. And thank y'all for the support. It's not us, promise you, on this stuff. It is you that's making this thing possible, because it's the people like you that want the trail, use the trail, and that's what makes this thing possible. And we'll keep working on it if people keep wanting it. So thank y'all very much.
I also want to thank Tracy Lee or Ross or Paul, whoever was responsible for the tent.
That's Tracy Lee.
7 years ago, we were driving down East Street, and we saw 4 little boys running across the highway, going from this side to the other side to what was then the Boys and Girls Club. And at that moment, we made a commitment and said, we have to have a trail. Chrissy, this is wonderful recreation, but it's transportation too.
It is.
It's an opportunity for people to have a safe way to get from one destination to another. And we are big advocates for recreation, for exercise, but transportation also. And that was part of the commitment we made to the trail in this area. So currently, it runs from George Williams Park, or maybe all the way to the Ernest Hill Park, which is just across Preston Street. And right now, it goes underneath 71 and goes 200, 250.
Several hundred feet.
Several hundred, thank you, several hundred feet. But as Ross said, the plan is to take it to the new recreation center and ultimately to Hobo Jungle, and there is then a right-of-way where there is an old railroad line, and we would love to see it continue and go even further. So we're very excited about that. We have funding available for the next project. We are ready for to partner with the city and with the highway department and anyone else we can partner with to continue to build trails in Texarkana. I'll share with you very quickly, get a commercial in here. The way we raise our money is Run the Line Half Marathon. That's in February. The mayor's been very good to help us. We have both mayors from both sides of the cities fire the starting guns. We give them shotguns with blanks, tell them they can't fire them at each other. And we bring 600, 650 runners every year to Texarkana. We brought runners from 26 states to Texarkana. And we hope February 15th we're going to be doing that again, and we invite all of you to come out. And if you want to run a half marathon, we'd love that. If you want to be a volunteer or just a spectator, we'd love to have you at that event. So again, thank you to everyone here for the work on this. It truly was a collaborative partnership.